and welcome to the Board of Health meeting. Today is Monday, February 25th, 2019. And we'll first do a call to order and a review of the agenda. Is there anything that you'd like to change on the agenda this evening?
Sure. So we have, we're going to be doing the May minutes, and we're going to hold off on the other two because I think we need the third for the rest. So we're going to do the May minutes.
Okay.
Is this the February 21st? Is that just to be sure that that's accurate for today?
Yes, we actually, the February 25th.
Oh, you're right, okay.
Yeah, it's when we have to post it.
Okay,
yes.
Thank you.
So we have to post it on a certain day.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting blown lane to lane here still.
Yeah, that's okay. And then we also have the hearing at 6 o'clock, the request for 714B Southbridge Street. That application has been withdrawn. So we can cancel that 6 o'clock hearing, and then we'll start at 6:15 for the LUA request.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. All right. So, all right, we'll just review the minutes here.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of May 14, 2018 as presented.
I'll accept the motion. All in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
Thank you.
Well, we're waiting to move on to the hearing, so if you want, we can move on to maybe some of the other items.
Awesome. Okay. We have the Maven report that we can give. So we have the report, and then we also have the cancer registry that came through.
Even this time of year.
I know.
Still Lyme disease even at this time of year.
Yeah. They hide under the leaves, and I remember doing some stuff about
Yeah, you did.
Mm. Mm. Pretty well within the expected norm. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and then we have, with animal control, we have just an update for reminder for dog licensing. So the dog licenses are still valid from last year. However, the 2019 applications are due by March 31st. So just wanted to put that out there. Late fees begin accruing on May 1st. Licensing will be available at the April rabies clinic. So a couple of years ago, we started having a spring rabies clinic for the public, and you'll see that. I think we just started some advertising for that. So the rabies clinic will be sure to bring flyers for that for the next meeting. And we also do licensing at the rabies clinic. So not only can you get a low-cost vaccine, they have microchipping services, they have rabies, distemper vaccines, all for a very discounted price. I think they're in the range of $5 to $10, so which is a big discount. And then we also have animal control wanted to remind residents that are 70 years and older are eligible for one free license per household. So that's something that was put in place recently as well. So just wanted to give you an update on that. The Worcester Regional Tobacco Control Collaborative, we continue to work with them on anything that we're seeing that is popping up at the convenience stores and the places that sell tobacco. We have Jordan and I actually were at a convenience store not too long ago, had some questions. The inspector came out from Worcester because they see sometimes a lot more in the city with a lot more convenience stores there. So we reach out to them when we need some advisement. So they've done that recently. For the flu season, this actually is the time of year that we begin start looking for vaccine order for next year. And this past year we totaled up the amount of vaccines that we gave. So we gave almost 200, so 195 vaccines between 3 clinics, and we are ecstatic about that. We know that we're still in flu season, and it's really kind of kicking up now, but we're also looking at probably increasing the vaccine order that we usually do. So I think last year we were in the range of about 150, and we were able to get some vaccine from the public health nurse as well. So we'll kind of see if we can upgrade it a little bit,
Right.
To try to accommodate.
What did you do for the Vote and Vax program?
The Vote and Vax, I think we did a lot at that. I think we did 95.
Yeah, because it's not going to be a major election this
Right.
fall, so just thinking about ordering numbers and everything. I mean, I'm sure we
Right.
can use them somehow, somewhere, but...
Right. No, it's a good point. So knowing, like, for next year, the
Right.
presidential election, we know we had a huge turnout.
With a big turnout on
Yeah.
voter voter voting.
Right.
Yeah.
So we, obviously we want to keep it modest. We
Right.
never want to end up with, vaccine that we can't use. But we were thinking in the range of between 150 and 175. We think that we have a need for that. We, in past years, we've done anywhere from, say, 60 to 90 at the senior center. Kind of really depends. Sometimes it just depends on the day.
Yeah.
If you're there on a Tuesday versus a Thursday. So we we really, we had a really good turnout this year, and we had a lot of people come for the employee clinic,
Yes,
right?
we did, a lot more.
Yeah.
I believe last year also, you got vaccine from the nurse also.
Right.
So-
Yep. So, and this actually was Jordan's kind of first full year with seeing the setup and getting the trailer over and actually using the supplies. Our senior clinic that we did incorporated a emergency preparedness drill. So we actually were essentially graded on it.
Oh, excellent.
So it counted towards one of our deliverables, which is nice because things that we normally do as a practice to try to incorporate, just making sure the signage is there and having, you know, the right amount of flow, anything that we can improve upon, we try to. So that worked out well this year. So I just wanted to let you know we'll be ordering vaccine, and as long as you're comfortable with that, you know, keeping it in that range, ordering a little bit more, we should be placing that order in the near future.
And probably at this point, we can move on to start the hearing then.
So
At this point, I'd like to open
2:30.
the hearing,
2:30
make a
less
motion
than
to,
that.
accept the motion to open the hearing.
We can just open it.
Yes, go ahead.
If you, just as a point of, you'll have to make a
Yes,
motion.
yes.
and-
I'll accept the
Oh, we're-
motion. And you?
Okay, the vote to
Yeah.
open, okay.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Val?
Yes, I'll accept the motion to open the hearing at 230 Leicester Street.
So second by Carolyn?
I
And then
second,
vote?
Yeah.
All right,
All
awesome.
in favor? Aye.
Thank you. Sorry, we just have to
Steve,
make sure we get it right.
Yeah.
So Steve opened it, Carol
Steve
seconded.
opened
He made the
Yeah,
motion,
he made the
Carolyn
motion.
seconded.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so for 230 Leicester Street, we received a application. And I'm not sure that the engineer is coming for this. All right, so the local upgrade approval application for this property is for two requests. One for the reduction in setback from the SAS less than 100 feet to the owner's well. And so we are going to be looking at, this right here is Leicester Street, and this is the dwelling. The property lines, this is the owner's well, and in the back of the in the back of the dwelling is where the proposed system is being proposed. So they have the current well and the proposed system, and he is identifying it's 53 feet, the well to the proposed septic. You can see that the lot is tight, and there is one thing that I did speak to the engineer about. I believe there is public water available for this area, so that's something that I'm not certain whether or not they were considering connecting to public water. That would be something that, obviously, if the board wanted to, consider, we can certainly look into that. When I spoke to the engineer today, he was not certain whether or not the owner was considering connecting. But obviously, having the well that close to the system, is something that would be of concern. And then the second request is A waiver is requested from the Auburn regulation, which requires the design system to be bedroom plus one, due to the property being septic repair and the size and shape of the lot, which are restricting the design to the system to bedroom count only. So as you know, we do have the local regulation for septic that requires system design plus one. And this is something that we have looked at. This is a 5-bedroom house. And the lot is pretty tight. There are some wetlands also identified for this property, and this is also across the street from the water body. Can you see on here? This is Leicester Street. This is across the street from the earthen dam. Coming right off of Bryn Mawr. When you come down, the water body is over here.
Okay, the pond on the
Yeah.
Cold Lake.
Yep. The
Okay.
dam is there. In the past, let me just identify, on the Town of Auburn regulation, the sewage flow design criteria, each system installed for residential application shall be designed based upon the number of bedrooms as determined by section 5.2 of this code plus one. 5.2, excuse me, for flow design. In determining the design flow, a dwelling shall be considered to have one living room, one kitchen, and one dining room. Each habitable room additional to those mentioned in the previous sentence shall be assessed as a bedroom. So I think this was voted back in 2005. Under the previous director, while I wasn't here, I think the intent of the regulation was to handle any possible construction that would possibly create any bedroom. So to handle any flow where you could do some minor modifications, not come through the town for building permits, and then now you have another bedroom. So I think the intent was put in place to handle possible increase in flows. However, recognizing that this is an existing house, a lot of times we have considered a system repair. Again, not new construction, it's not a brand new house that's being built, a system that's already there as something where you would consider allowing somebody not to have to design for the plus one. So the review has, this plan is still under review. However, because the LUAs are requested, we wanted to get those addressed first, and then the complete review will be sent back to the engineer if there's any changes that are needed. Right now, the well being 53 feet from the proposed septic is, is something that I think we need to take note. And if there is the chance to connect to public water, that would be something that I think definitely is within the board's right to consider that. Because, if a lot of times where we're doing a setback from a well, if there's a reduction in the 100 feet that's required, on system repairs, you can consider that, but usually there's not public water supply available.
Right.
In this case, I believe there is public water supply available, so that might be something that, we can certainly, take that into consideration.
Have you received a recent well report on this?
I have not,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, that's a big difference, 53, I mean, it's not like, 80 feet, I mean, that's a big difference.
Right, yep. And like I said, it is something, if they wanted to keep that well, the board could require, testing beforehand, and testing on a regular basis, but it might be easier if the property is connected to public water. That might be something that's easier for the property owner going forward. If the board wants to, wants to get more information, we can certainly do that, but, I mean,
Title V offset for the well, is there a specific, is it 75 feet? or-
100.
That is 100, and the town is still 100.
that's
But
correct.
with a board variance, we can allow,
So the local upgrade approval is allowable with a system repair such as
Okay.
this. So this is
Okay.
not like
A
a
new-
brand-new
new
house,
construction,
not new
right.
construction,
Okay.
system repair. So the board can consider an LUA, but again, in those situations where we usually have setbacks from the well, at least in the ones that I can think of, we've done in recent years,
Okay.
there hasn't been a public water supply connection available.
And did I understand you correctly that the 5-bedroom is a change for this home as well?
Nope.
No, there's always been
it's-
5 bedrooms?
Yes, I believe
Okay,
so.
okay.
Yep. There is, it's actually,
over the course of the
Two-family, I
years,
believe.
it may have,
Been added on, yeah.
most of those houses down there are
Yeah,
on the older side.
yeah, they are, yeah.
this is a two-family. It's
I sort of remember
currently a
talking about
two-family
this.
ranch, and I think they are looking to put a second floor on it.
That sounds familiar, I remember
think
talking
it-
about this.
Yeah, there
Seeing
was-
a lot of construction equipment up there.
This is
Just kinda
a
going
existing
uphill.
5-bedroom. You may recognize the
Yeah.
house. There was a
Yeah.
fire there years ago,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
and
Okay.
it's kind of diagonally across from the earthen dam.
Mhm.
Going uphill.
Yeah.
Yes,
If I
it's on the
recall.
right-hand
Yeah.
side.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I think
So
I
it is
know-
a current
I think I know
5-bedroom.
what I want to do.
Okay.
So, any other questions or any other evidence or questions, discussions you want to do?
I mean, like, this is part of discussion.
Huh?
This is what I don't understand.
No, do you have any other
no.
questions, or do you want to ask for any more evidence or
No,
anything?
no.
Then
no.
I'll move to close the evidentiary and discussion portion of the hearing.
Okay, I'll accept the motion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'd like to present a motion to approve the LUAs as presented for A, to have the flow for 550 gallons a day as requested, and to accept the offset of the well of 53 feet from the system with the conditions of a pre-construction and a post-construction, as well as an annual water test to be done, collected and tested by a state-certified lab, and reported to the Board of Health, with the board's strong recommendation and advisement to consider connecting to the public water supply. That makes sense?
That makes sense.
Pre-construction, post-construction, annual water test, collected and tested by a state-certified lab, and with the strong advisement and recommendation to consider connecting to the public water supply.
And we'll confirm if that's available, but I believe it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I will, I agree with you, I second that motion.
And just the
Call
vote.
for the
And
vote.
call for your vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Motion to close the hearing?
Motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
great. Paula, you got that?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to
Motion to open the hearing for the 625 local upgrade approval request for 6 Sunrise Ave.
I accept your motion.
Second it.
Aye.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye, sorry. Yes.
Okay. All right, so this is a local upgrade, local upgrade approval request for 6 Sunrise Ave. This plan literally just came in today, so this is the revised plan, so I'll show you the revised plan. We did a plan review previously, and okay. So the LUA request that we received is for a reduction, the design requests a variance to allow for a 3-foot offset to groundwater. So a reduction in the normal 4-foot separation to 3-foot separation. So this is, again, a system repair. And this house, I believe, also has 5 bedrooms. Okay. So this is the house. It's a house on Sunrise Ave. It's actually a 4-bedroom house. The system design would be for 5 bedrooms under the town regulation. So it's the number of bedrooms plus 1. The plan that we received had utilized a Presby system, which is an alternative system. And you'll see a lot of kind of some of the notes that are on here relate to the type of system that they have there. This is, just see, here's Sunrise Ave. And this is the driveway, the existing house, and they're putting the system over here. This is actually just an enlarged view, so you can see it because it's a little small here. The current cesspool is in the rear, and then the well is to the left. So they definitely have enough distance from the well to the proposed septic system. The cesspool will be abandoned, and we'll also have the plumbing right now goes out the rear, so the plumbing will come out the front, so a licensed plumber will reroute the plumbing. So here's the proposed system, and the system that they're using does allow for a 3-foot separation to groundwater. That is something that is allowed with this type of system. So that is that's the alleyway that's being requested. I know the property owner had also asked if the design criteria for Auburn, if there was, what the intention was when they put the design +1 requirement was put in place. So that was something that was asked. So I know it is something that they would like to see as the design +1 as a request as well. But that's obviously up to the board.
They want to design for a 4-bedroom?
They would like to
system?
design for a 4-bedroom. However, that I don't see on the LUA application.
Okay.
And I have not talked to the designer about that. That was something that I had received a
Okay.
request from the owner.
Yeah.
So as of right now, the LUA that is being requested is
Yeah.
the 3-foot offset to groundwater.
Right.
However, I wanted to at least let you know.
It's not requested, I'm not even, but, okay. Thank you.
It is something that is allowed.
foot
We
offset,
have,
yeah.
we have entertained that before with this innovative alternative system.
Does the owner's request, though, about the other bedroom change?
No,
It
it
doesn't
wasn't
It would,
specified.
right, it would have to be, sent in through a process, so through a formal request. I just wanted to
Right.
at least let you know of the, some of the owner's questions regarding the
Right.
requirement for the bedroom +1.
But say if he had put that in this, would that change the allowability of this 3-foot offset?
Without speaking with the designer who designed the plan,
Okay.
I wouldn't speak for the designer.
Okay.
You know, they would have to look and see if both of those things could.
But we would still look at it as 2 separate issues,
Yeah.
Yep.
so.
Any further questions?
I'm good, and you good?
Yeah.
Then I'll move to close the evidentiary and discussion portion of the hearing.
I'll accept that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You second it?
Second it.
Yeah. Okay.
Second. I keep saying that.
And I will move to approve the requested LUA of the 6 Sunrise for a 3-foot offset to groundwater on the Cosby system.
And I second that motion.
You just need to vote.
Call for the question.
Well, make a vote. Will you
Aye.
accept the vote? Aye. I second that. Accept the vote. Do you want me to say the whole thing out, or?
Nope.
No, I
Nope,
did. So I'll
think
move
we
to
did.
close the hearing,
Aye.
6 Sunrise Terrace.
And I accept that vote. Second it.
Aye. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Paula, you have all that?
And,
That's Sunrise Ave, I'm sorry. Not Terrace.
Oh, I didn't hear you say terrace.
I didn't
Oh,
hear that.
maybe my
I
brain
think
said it.
you said Sunrise Ave.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I'd like to,
Is it a hearing or a discussion on the fee schedule review?
I put it as a hearing, but it was, it's more so I just wanted to, we can continue it as discussion, but just in case you wanted to take any action, I wanted to at least
Yeah,
have it in the hearing.
I'd rather wait till Eric was here, so we have a full board for
Yeah, that's fine.
the vote.
Sure.
So, do we need to publicize the hearing or the schedule?
Yeah, so what I thought is we would go through, once the board felt comfortable with the proposed changes, we could advertise it. That way, if people are interested in coming, or any input at that point. So one of the things that that we're looking at is kind of focusing on the items that we spend a lot of time on. Because it doesn't, quite honestly, there's a lot of things that really we don't need to change in here, but we're thinking that with the fee schedule, even with having Jordan out in the field now and seeing what we're spending time on, Jordan gets kind of a good view because she's been here now, a little over a year, and working with Eileen and myself, she's able to sometimes recognize things that we didn't, we may not have seen before, or things that we're spending a little bit more time on. So even in the past year, I think even before Jordan, just for example, like certain permits that we have to make sure we follow up in, if there's retests and so forth. So for a frozen dessert permit, there's usually a lot of legwork with that. So we'll have to check. Paula keeps a spreadsheet. We'll update the as the tests come in, and then if there's any follow-up, we are contacting the establishment, getting the retest, checking to see if the retest came in, is the retest acceptable, or do we then need to go out and possibly do some education or follow up for what's needed for compliance. So things like that, we just want to make sure we are looking at and charging accordingly. And then also on the food list of possibly consolidating some of these. Over the past couple of years, we've tried to have the details in making things easier. So for the renewal period, we're in February, but Jordan and Eileen and Paula spent a lot of time in December and even in January getting all the renewals together, getting them out, and then also including things in the permit. So for example, like I think we fold in the milk permit now. The milk permit is within the food service. So, things like that, if there's some way that we can make it easier so we're not sending out multiple permits,
Right.
including it in the paperwork so that you're cutting down on how many times you have to touch it. And then also recognizing things like the annual event permit, the temporaries. I think Jordan can probably speak to the fact that we've had a lot of temporaries, and she spends a lot of time on those. I think we have do we have something coming up in March, Jordan?
We have a craft fair at the high school that we're still gathering all the information that we need, but we're pretty involved with the community, and those are kind of fun events where you can kind of get involved and engaged with the community and kind of help and educate the public in hand washing and proper allergen awareness, things like that.
And then a lot of times, I think we spend a lot of time with people that are volunteering. So they're not, food employees. They're partaking in events that, you're trying to raise money for a certain charitable organization or a fund or something like that. So sometimes Jordan's working with caterers, and we're trying to get catering notifications. So there's a lot of kind of back and forth and coordination that goes on kind of behind the scenes. So even though it may not be something that is a huge event, we do a lot of them. So knowing that, just how much time goes into it. So we're trying to just focus in on maybe consolidating some of the fee schedule. This is a great example, and Paula spent a ton of time putting this together.
It's great.
But not every town is going to have something that that may be a like fee to us. You know, some towns have completely a different fee that we wouldn't have.
Yeah.
So we're trying to like take a look at other towns and see, you know, the things that we may be able to make some changes and make it easier. The other area that I think that we can also, excuse me, probably improve upon is just taking a look at what we're doing for the hauling. So we do the haulers renewals once a year. So it's typically an annual January to December. And we have a day, usually I think it's one or 2 days, that will identify where the septic haulers or trash haulers, grease rendering companies will come in and get their trucks stickered. So I think looking at other towns, I think we're probably a little bit low in that area. So, you know, just again, seeing how much time we're spending on chasing some of these haulers in town. A lot of them come like clockwork, so we send out the renewals, and then they'll come in, they get licensed, and no problems. But a lot of times, you know, if they're not getting licensed, then, you know, we have repeated phone calls to them, and sometimes letters that we'll have to follow up. So just kind of working that into the amount of time that we're spending. Again, just making sure that, you know, you don't want to be the highest fee around, but you also, you know, if you're the lowest, you know, you kind of want to look and see where we're at. A lot of the fees that I'm looking at, I don't think need to be changed. There's definitely some that I think we're probably in line. But I think the possibly septic and well we'll take a look at, and just seeing how those compare with other towns and the amount of work that goes into it. We did have just recently that body art establishment come in. We haven't had a body art place in a while, so that kind of caused us to take a look at those fees. And we did have, this was one thing that I was happy this got put in years ago, the plan review fee. We spent a decent amount of time on the plan review, and you can see, you know, they withdrew the application. However, we spent the time. So we did fortunately, having that plan review fee was helpful in this case. So even though we didn't license the establishment, we did, you know, have it so that it's equitable to the time you spent. And then some of these are set by general laws. So, for example, like the trailer park fees, and I think the camp fee. So some of these are governed through a law process, a Mass General Law process. So that's kind of what our review is going on right now, and I think that it might be helpful to, you know, maybe at the next meeting, if we have a full board, to be able to see what the input is, and you know, look at the proposed increases or changes or no changes to the schedule. This is this is a very detailed
Yes, it's
document,
good.
but
It's great.
yeah, we're going to try to consolidate and make some of these a little easier though. So I think we're already doing that. And it looks like it was 2013 was the last time it was the fees were updated. So I mean it's definitely been a good amount of time. Before that it was 2005. So I definitely think it's the right time. Do you have any questions for us at this point? Or anything you're seeing on this list that's jumping out at you that... One other area, I'm sorry, just to also let you know, one other area that we definitely, want to make sure that we're looking at is for the tobacco sales as well. Making sure that we're in line with other towns. That is something that I know the board has looked at in the past, and it is something that I think going forward we're probably going to be looking at updating our reg, because I think the reg definitely needs it.
Yeah.
So, how about you?
I just want to say hi to everyone. Hi, how are you?
So,
Renting tobacco sales, like in convenience stores and
yes,
sorts of things.
yeah. So we do have, Paula, we have about 25? Yeah, we have about 25 establishments that are licensed for tobacco. And we, there's been a lot of changes in that area. So I think, taking a look at what the state is doing and towns in our area, I think it's definitely something that updating it this year would be helpful for us. And there's a lot of help. There's a lot of help in that area. So the collaborative, the regional collaborative, definitely will come out and they'll help on that area. We do have, we do have a lot of good information. So making sure that the permit is also equitable in that area, because we do spend a decent amount of time responding to complaints. And of course, you remember last year when we had several establishments, selling to minors. So, knowing that we're spending that time, advocate for education, but also, the businesses also have to do their part and make sure they're being responsible retailers. So that's, an area that we might want to look at, and just remembering kind of what we've done even in the past year. We do have a lot of involvement in that area. So I just wanted to kind of highlight some of the things that we were looking at and some of the areas that we're focusing in on.
And, sorry, if you could just refresh my memory, did the public hearing already occur for the bid?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I can give
Yeah.
you, yep. So great, great question. We did actually have, that was, the vote did go into effect as of the beginning of the year. And I do want to just let you know, Jordan has been doing a fabulous job. So Jordan was able to see kind of from the ground up. So when we had the draft, when we went to make the changes, suggested by the board, we had the review by town council, and then we actually had the hearing where it got voted, and now we're in the process of making sure that everybody gets permitted. So Jordan has taken a lead role in making contact with the businesses for for these bin operators. So she has really like a contact list. She's spoken to them personally, a lot of them on the phone. We have email contact with them, and trying to get everybody to get into compliance. So we knew that anytime you put in a new regulation, it takes time to get people into compliance. But we do have that, and she's actively working on that project. So it is it's something that we can keep you updated. We're hoping that within the next month or so, we'll be able to show you how many people we have permits for and so forth. So that's not to say that, I mean, that's not to say that we may not have some problems around them. Obviously, we're still going to respond to those, but as we get people permitted, we're actually going to have a contact so that we can reach out to them and let them know, look, you're in violation, you've got X number of, X time to get it back into compliance. So that, I hope that answers,
It did,
was that
thank you.
answering your question?
Yeah, I was just
Okay.
curious when you were,
Yeah, I'm glad you asked,
when
because
we were talking about this. we didn't-
Yeah.
Jordan's actively working on it and doing an incredible job. So, so I think that is all I had for the fee schedule. I think we have all the updates here. Do you have any questions for me on anything? No? Okay. If that's the case, then we're thinking just for if you would entertain, and if you're comfortable with Paula sending out like we have been doing to set up the next meeting. But I think, Paula, we had these two are what we were kind of looking at, right, for March?
Yes, it's because we have 2 scheduled nights, the 2nd and the 4th. So those are our nights originally that we have this room booked.
Right.
For the Board of Health.
The second and the fourth Monday.
Yes.
And obviously, I mean, we are flexible if we have done some Thursday meetings, if
Right.
that's easier for the board, but we figured we'd at least throw out those 2 dates, and Paula can follow up with an email to the board as we've been doing. But just wanted to,
Well, my new work schedule, I get out at 5:30, so
Okay.
unless I'm away,
okay.
just about any night would work,
Oh, great.
except
Okay.
Wednesdays
Okay,
and Sundays.
okay.
But,
We probably wouldn't do a Sunday.
so those 2 dates are fine by me right now.
Yeah, the
Okay.
12th should work. I'll be in Westboro till, I should be able to get here by 6, but
The 11th or 25th.
the 25th is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so both of those dates right now
Work.
Yeah.
both work for you?
Yes.
Okay, so we can check in with Eric and see what works for his schedule, and then maybe we can, we'll have Paula follow up and send out a notice on what the March meeting date would be. If does that sound acceptable?
Absolutely.
That sounds good.
Yeah? Okay, great. All right, so Paula will follow up on that. Okay.
So you said both the 11th and the 25th, you both of them?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, great. Jordan, do you have anything? No? Okay.
Thank you all.
Okay, okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Yes? Yes? Second?
I second that motion. I know, I've got to get that down.
Just got it
Thank
down.
you.
And then just a vote.
I vote yes.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll have to write her up some cheat sheets.
I know.